you're creating content and you've started to monetize that content, that is now become a business.
AdSense is Google Ireland. So in most cases, any of your income that you receive from there will not be VATable. Okay, don't go towards VAT thresholds, that sort of stuff. But you still need to be able to track it, and you still need to be able to report it on things like your, as you said there, tax returns annually. Okay, the UK, we're quite lucky. We have double tax treaties with the US that are very strong, which means in most cases, especially if you're a business in the UK, you will qualify for a 0%.
So in this video, we're going to be talking about tax for content creators, all you need to know. We're going to be talking through all the different types of income that you could receive, the ramifications of that, whether you have to pay tax on it, how much tax there is on it, and ultimately what you can do to potentially keep your tax down and make sure that you stay on the right side of the law so you're not hit with penalties from the tax authorities. I have with me again my colleague from Capture Accounting, Brendan. Hey there, Brendan. How are you doing today?
Hi, everyone.
So today, Brendan, we're talking about everything to do with the different types of income that a content creator could have and the tax implications on that. So do you want to give us an overview of the different types of incomes a content creator or influencer could have, first of all?
There's quite a lot. So the main types of income that's directly from content is mainly, it can be AdSense. We've got TikToks, Snapchats, which can be put into different categories, whether it's sponsorships, affiliate links. You can even have digital courses off the back of it, or digital products, physical products, merchandise, that sort of stuff out the other side as well.
So quite a lot of different income streams.
Definitely.
And once you are, I guess, you're creating content and you've started to monetize that content, whether that be accidental monetization just because you have launched your channel and you've gone past the required watch hours and now you're getting paid by YouTube, that is now become a business. And that means that you've got to start paying tax on it, right? Just very quickly, for someone who is probably new to the game and is starting to get monetized and get into income, what is the law with regards to how long they have to notify the tax authorities, particularly in the UK, that they are now a business and need to start registering for tax and now paying tax?
So it's simplistic. It's 30 days. So 30 days is the exact same as sole trader. So you need to register within 30 days.
Brilliant. Okay, so 30 days. So if that is you and you are starting to receive that income from the content creation you're doing, you've got 30 days to notify HMRC, register for tax. They will give you a UTR, a unique tax reference number, and you will then need to submit your tax return every year for the income that you are receiving. So let's go on to each of those different strands of income then, because they all have nuances, they all have different ways that they can be treated. Let's start off with AdSense, because AdSense is something that is paid by YouTube.
It certainly is.
It comes from different companies in the YouTube kind of ecosystem, doesn't it? So talk to us a bit about that, where it comes from, how it differs, withholding tax issues, and just unravel that a little bit for us.
So I think, first of all, you've got to understand from an international level. Okay, because when you look at domestically, you're going to have Google's, Facebook's, it can even be LinkedIn's, that sort of stuff, eventually, where you're going to have all of these companies that operate internationally, but they operate in the UK. And what you've got to understand is the location of the customers. And it's really important for that, but it's also important for you to be able to track. So AdSense, for example, AdSense is Google Ireland. Okay, it's in the Republic of Ireland as well. So in most cases, any of your income that you receive from there will not be VATable. Okay, don't go towards VAT thresholds, that sort of stuff. But you still need to be able to track it, and you still need to be able to report it on things like your, as you said there, tax returns annually.
Absolutely. So and there's other things with AdSense is the issue of withholding tax.
Certainly
right?
Is.
There's a 30% withholding tax. When does that apply and when does it not apply?
So the US implemented this as a way of really penalizing digital products or digital services that were being used and were being absorbed by US viewership. Okay, so the way it works is that they started to look at imposing a 30% withholding tax, which means you lose 30% as source. Okay, the UK, we're quite lucky. We have double tax treaties with the US that are very strong, which means in most cases, especially if you're a business in the UK, you will qualify for a 0%. On that, but you have to qualify. So that means you have to actually go through the necessary steps. Google, very good at making you fill out the forms and it can take you through each step, but other companies not so good. So it means you have to complete them, which is called W8BNE forms and W8BN forms. Depending on whether you're an individual, it'd be W8BN. If you're a company, W8BNE, and you'll need to fill that out. To be honest, I would look at getting an advisor to assist you with that, which obviously we do here at Capture.
Absolutely. Yeah, we've got a blog post on that, and we'll put a link into the description for you if that is something that you need to do, but definitely worthwhile doing, because if you don't, then that's 30% of your income that you're not going to get, because the US would withhold tax at source, so they'll deduct 30% of what you're owed by YouTube in order for them to get their tax, because they don't know whether you're going to register there or not. So if you're based in the UK, definitely complete that form in so you get 100% of the AdSense that's due to you, and then you're then responsible for paying tax on the full amount for the income that you receive. Okay, so you mentioned a bit about the VAT on AdSense as well.
Yeah.
You said it's outside the scope of VAT. So explain a bit more about that. So the general rule in the UK, when your turnover reaches over £85,000, you've got to register for VAT. But again, that is taxable supply. So talk to us kind of on a basic level, what does a taxable supply mean, and does AdSense qualify as a taxable supply?
So first of all, it's just gone up. It's now 90,000. So we have to take that into consideration. But the way it generally works, okay, is you normally have two supplies. You have a normal supply for VAT, which means in most cases you're going to be business to business. Most cases you've got Google business, you're going to be a business. Even if you're a sole trader, you're classed as a business, okay, as long as you're registered. So from your side, you then got a business to business supply. So under a normal supply, that means if you're operating from the UK to someone that's outside of the UK, then you will not pay VAT. It'll be out of scope. Okay, and that's on a normal supply. The second supply is something called a digital service supply. Very new, no one picks up on it a lot, and it's probably the most common thing I see errors in when we take on new clients. A lot of our creators will build digital products out of the back of their channels or whatever they progress into. And the digital products themselves are automated. So I'm talking like there can be fitness platforms where I've put loads of content up, PDFs, resources, but there's no human interaction. They pay, they get all the resources. That's a digital service. There's no automation from a human. It can be a digital course. I have a lot of people that say how to do what I do, you know, how to do YouTube channels, how to do this, how to do that. Again, it's a recorded video. You don't get any human interaction from it. So the difference with a digital service supply is you pay VAT where the customer is based. And the problem with digital service supplies is that for the EU, for example, there's no threshold. You make one sale in France, Germany, wherever it is in the EU, you have to pay their local VAT. And if you don't, then you can fall foul of the penalties. And honestly, they penalise quite heavily to non-residents operating in their countries. So it's definitely something worth watching out for.
Yeah, and that's something that we get pretty much every time somebody gets in touch with us, because it's very easy to fall foul of, and a lot of accountants, even in the UK, won't be aware of it, because unless they are specialised in this area of content creation, etc., and know about the specialised VAT rules, they won't know, and therefore they won't raise it with you. But that doesn't mean that your obligation to comply with EU VAT goes away. Your obligation is there, and even if you miss it by mistake or inadvertently, you can still be hit with a penalty. So if you are selling any type of digital courses, as Brendan said, and you even have one customer that buys your course in the EU, you need to be registered for VAT in the EU, and then have a mechanism where that can be accounted for and paid across to the EU territory. So just explain quickly how we do it for clients, where we help them register, and how we help them take care of this compliance obligation.
So for us, we operate through something called OS schemes. Okay, it sounds very complicated, but I'll break it down. So the OS scheme itself at the moment is a way of you reporting for every state in the EU through one VAT return. So what that means is it basically means if you're operating in Germany, France, wherever it is, they all have their different their VAT rates, and you'll take down what they are. You can submit one return that does all of those countries. The downfall to this is for service supply, I'm doing this based on, you have to have a registration with an EU state. Okay, what's the easiest one for us? Ireland. They speak English. Okay, so it's the easiest one for us to be able to use. So pick a state that fits the way that you can operate, and then you can be able to go and set up their local rules. So we do it through something called the ROS scheme of the Irish tax system, and then we can submit through the OS. They can pay the VAT through the ROS online portal as well, and then it's all cleared off for them every quarter. It's based on calendar quarters. Okay, it's not like the UK where we pick and choose based on what we want. It's based on calendar quarters, which means we look at March, June, September, December, and then you have to file and pay within 30 days. It's actually the end of the month, okay? Yeah. But I always say 30 days just to give the client that kind of headspace to know where they're at.
Absolutely. Yeah. So this is obviously a very specialized area and worth taking advice on this if you find you're in this situation where you do have some sort of digital supply, some sort of course, some sort of ebook, anything which is being sold into the EU. If there's even one customer in the EU buying it, then this is something that you need to be aware of and start and comply. Otherwise, the penalties can be quite severe. Okay, so moving away from the course side, anything else on the other types of income front that would be worth mentioning? So you mentioned at the start, we had sponsorships, we've got the course income, and then we've got affiliate income, and then we've got, TikTok Shop, Snapchat now. Anything else to be aware of in terms of the nuances of receiving income from any of these other types of platforms?
Yeah, I think there's a couple that comes to mind. Okay, the biggest growing areas at the moment is TikTok and Snapchat, believe it or not. Snapchat now is monetized, and it's monetized at quite high levels. So we're seeing more and more uptake in Snapchat as well. So it's dealing with Snapchat, knowing, okay, who am I operating with? Because half the battle is just knowing the tax point A to B, is knowing, okay, where is Snapchat based? Are they in the UK? No, they're not. Okay, where are they based? Where are they paying me from? So that I know what I can do for the VAT treatment mainly. The other key concept to this, and it could be TikTok. TikTok's the exact same. Okay, TikTok's the exact same. You need to work out who you're operating with. Unfortunately, TikTok is very complicated in the way that you have affiliate income and products where you can sell on the shop. The affiliate income, where it's just when you put a link on the bottom of the content and then someone clicks it and pays for that product based on the link. Then in most cases, it's actually TikTok has a European base. They have a TikTok Europe, where you will operate from in most cases for the affiliate income, but they also have a UK base. So you have to check which branch or which area you are actually operating under, which is more than likely going to be the European one. But you need to check that for VAT purposes.
Yeah.
I think the last bit that I would add to this is you're operating internationally. A lot of clients, what they don't understand, and they think I'm in the UK, so I'm only getting taxed on UK income. It's not the case. If you're a UK individual, even a company operating in the UK, then you have to pay on your worldwide income. So a key element of this is not only work out A and B where they're based, but know that you are going to have to pay tax on that income. No, you are going to have to declare that on a tax return. And it's not just because it's outside the UK, you don't pay taxes on it, because it is an area I see a lot.
Absolutely. No, that's a great point there at the end. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot there that's been that you've mentioned, Brendan. I can imagine that even my head is fried sitting here listening to you. So if you have found value in that video, and if any of these points have resonated with you, then I'd urge you to take advice ASAP on your particular circumstances. We often find that when creators come to us that they are not compliant in a number of areas, even though they have an accountant, because this stuff is very new and a lot of accountants simply aren't aware of it unless they are specialized. As you can see, a lot of the points here raised by Brendan in terms of what we need to do to figure out where the income is coming from, and then based on that then applies a different tax or VAT treatment on it. So if you're not with a specialized accountant, then we're happy to have a consultation with you, a free chat with you, to see how we can help make sure you're on the straight and narrow, making sure that you are paying what you need to, but not a penny more, so you keep more of what you earn. If you'd like to have a chat with us, feel free to click on the link below. Otherwise, hope you got value from today's video, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care and bye for now.